It's the Mattydaddy. Oh, talking fantasy football, talking NFT draft. Week 17 is here, and I'm licking my fingers because we got starts today, guys. We've got a quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, and I'm giving you two defenses. I'm changing my train of thought, getting ready for the playoffs. We are in it. If you're playing fantasy football, this is your championship week. I've got a couple championship teams. I'm going to be sweating bullets a little later, but let's talk football. And before we can, let's talk our sponsors, Alien Worlds and Zombie Coin. Zombies, Alien World, do you think there's UFOs? Do you believe there's aliens out there? That's a good question to ask, but those are our sponsors. Make sure you check out their NFTs. And of course, brought to you by NFTDraft, the future of fantasy sports. Let's get going. Let's start it off with the quarterback position. I'm talking a 16-point card. I'm talking Jalen Hurts, baby. We're talking that sweet spot against Washington, who's 32nd versus quarterbacks. That's how bad this defense is. We saw week 15, Hurts put on a show against Washington, 28 points. Last week, we saw Dak go for 39. This team is giving up an average of 26.7 points to the quarterback position. With Hurts' rushing floor and with that upside against the Washington's terrible pass defense, Hurts is going to smash. This week, I have him as a top 5 quarterback. He's shown time in and time again out. This guy is a consistent piece and a must start. Let's talk running back. So at the running back position, it's very interesting. I've got a guy who's on a dumpster fire of a football team, but the matchup is too good to ignore. We're talking David Montgomery, running back of the Chicago Bears, 19-point card in NFTs, going up against the Giants. Been a surprise lately because the team's been so bad. Let's break down the film. We got 3.4 rush yards per game over the last 4, but he's still putting up 19 points per game. That's 20 carries, 8 targets. This guy's still finding work. We're talking last week, 21 rushes, 45 yards and a touchdown, 7 for 61 in the pass game versus Seattle. When you go up against the Giants, this is just too good of a matchup to ignore. I have him as a top 5 running back. I expect the yards per carry to be there, the receptions to be there. We've seen anytime Nick Foles is in at quarterback, he feeds Montgomery in the checkdowns. So, guys, get David Montgomery, 19-point card, top 5 running back this week in your lineups. Receivers, who likes to catch passes and kick ass? Let's go. The receiver position. This one's interesting. More of a value, but I feel so good about this position. I'm saying this is top 24 upside, and at the price point, you can't beat it. We're talking wide receiver 3 for Los Angeles Rams, whether it's OBJ or Van Jefferson. Guys, this card is perfect price. You've got Van Jefferson, who's put up pretty good games, 14-3 the last 5. OBJ, 4 touchdowns in the last 5 games. So regardless of which player it is, I don't care. But at 9 points, Los Angeles Rams, wide receiver 3 is a smash. You go up against a matchup, he's going up against the sweet spot. This is where I want. OBJ versus Baltimore, Van Jefferson versus Baltimore, 28th versus receivers. That's what you've got to remember. They've been giving up yards, 66, 103, and 8 touchdowns over the last 7, I believe. Wide receivers have scored at least 85 yards. That's where it's at, the sweet spot. Baltimore is falling apart. Therefore, wide receiver 3 for Los Angeles is a spot, a sweet spot. Give it to me. Tight end position, I'm keeping it simple. Tight end 1 on the year. We're talking a 15-point play. Baltimore versus the Rams. We're talking Mark Andrews been on fire. We're talking 3 straight games over 27 fantasy points, 3 straight games over 100 yards, not just 100 yards, but 29 for 376. This is a hell of a stat line. You get the Rams. We've seen him lead the team in targets, receptions, anything and everything. Mark Andrews is a smash play. He is my tight end 1 on the week. Get him in your lineups. Defenses. This is where it gets fun. I've decided to adopt the 2 defensive strategy every week. As I've been doing that, I've been getting better and better. This week, it's no different. We have 2 smash spots. We've got Tampa Bay versus the Jets. Jets are worst at everything. You've got a 12-point play here. This could get you 15, 25 points because of how bad it's going to be. Not only that, but you get New England versus Jacksonville. a 9-point play. We saw New England lose to Buffalo last week. We know they're not going to get disrespected this week. You start both these defenses, 21 points total, and I think you're going to have a big week from both. Let's run that back then. Quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Love the matchup. 16-point play versus Washington. Running back, 19-point play. David Montgomery, a top 5 running back for me this week versus the Giants. Wide receiver 3 on Los Angeles. 9-point card, quite the value. That's why I'm starting it. Top 24 upside this week for either OBJ or Van because of the matchup versus Baltimore. Tight end, Mark Andrews, tight end 1 on the year. We've seen him put up the yards. Like I said earlier, 376 yards over the last 3. Love the spot. And then 2 defenses, Tampa Bay, New England, 12 and 9 points. Mattydaddy, season's wrapping up. Good luck to everybody in the fantasy championships, Alien World, Zombie Coin, and NFT Draft, the future of fantasy sports. Thank you to the community, and thank you to all you football fans that have kept me going all year. Can't believe it's almost over. Love you guys, and always, it's been a pleasure. My treasure.